Well, all right. It looks like we went and did a thing. Well, all right, as you can see, we finally got the tent up onto the bed rack. Had to get some extra help over here. We deployed it out here in the driveway, me and my buddy. I'll attach some pictures right here. So real happy with this tent. It fits the truck absolutely perfect. It's like the perfect size for it. I did take another measurement of the wheel wells, and the tent lowered the truck another 1/4 of an inch in the rear. So now I'm at, with the rack and the tent, it lowered the truck in the rear a 1/2 inch total so far. So still keeping track of that. So got a bunch of other things planned for this today. So let's see what I got going on here. All right, so now that I got the tent on there, I did take another measurement to see how much that additional weight lowered the truck. And down to 37 3/4 of an inch now. So all of that weight lowered the truck 3/4 of an inch, looks like so far. So not too bad. So what I'm going to do to address that today is we're going to pull off the original FX4 shocks. They got 29,000 miles on them. And bought these Bilsteins or Bilsteins, however you say it. And these are supposedly good for an additional inch of lift. So if I decide to put those BDS shackles on to raise it up another inch, because I think that's the way I'm going to go. I don't want to mess with blocks and I have to deal with axle wrap. I think I'll just do those new BDS 1-inch lift shackles. So we're going to try these on there. I did drive the truck last night with the additional weight on there. So I'll be able to have a good back-to-back comparison on how these new shocks compare to the FX4 ones. Also, got the Powertank mount. Going to get this mounted in the bed. And I also just finished installing. There's our little switch panel for our 12-volt power source in the bed. And I'm currently getting ready to wire that to that plug that's right there on the frame rail. There's a little cap that goes on it. So I'm going to get that done, get that powered up. And then we're going to get all this stuff on. Okay, with the switch all wired up, I got it. So turn it on. There we go, 12.7 volts. A couple USB chargers there. And this is where we'll plug in our refrigerator while we're cruising down the road. And if my understanding is correct, the way this is wired into the truck is it'll only stay live for like an hour and a half, and then it'll time out. So that should work out perfectly for like when we stop for lunches or dinner. The refrigerator will continue to run off this power for an hour and a half. And then once it shuts off, we will go to a backup, lithium battery power supply. So it should work out really good. And then during the day, we can keep the power supply plugged inside the truck to keep it charged up. So we should never run out of power for anything. Well, what might be the easiest shock change I've ever done in my life. Got the one shock already changed. Moving on to this one here. Super nice. I have captured nuts top and bottom, 15 millimeter. Super easy. And I'm really surprised these FX4 shocks compress pretty easy. Doesn't take a lot of force, but the new ones, holy crap. I mean, it takes 2 hands and a lot of force to compress those. So looking forward to seeing how this rides now. So let's get it on. Like a 15-minute job to change the shocks in this thing. Super easy. So now let's set her down on the ground and take a new measurement to the fender and see if these provided any additional lift. All right, the last measurement with the old shocks is 37 3/4 of an inch. So let's just see. 38. Gave back 1/4 of an inch. That's pretty dang good for just throwing the shocks on there. So that's a win. I'll take that. So I came up, I guess, with a better idea. Instead of taking up possibly valuable bed space in here and mounting the power tank over there, which it was too tall to stand up, and if I laid it down right here, it was just barely enough room for it all to fit there laying down. Didn't quite like it. So, actually, the bracket mounted perfectly right to the bed rack. She's all bolted down. Doesn't stick out that much farther. Feel pretty safe that it wouldn't get damaged going down the trail. Any tree limbs or something hit it. The valve and the regulator, everything's pretty well protected like that. I can even kind of rotate it in a little bit more if I wanted, but I think I like that. It's out of the way. It looks pretty damn good. So I think we're gonna go with that instead of putting it in the bed. See, that's one thing you'll learn from watching this channel. All my plans, everything is fluid. Everything is always changing, so. So yeah, I like that. It turned out good. Nice and simple. All right, so that's pretty much going to conclude this video. We're going to keep it short and sweet on this one here. Hopefully thought the tent pictures were good enough. I don't know why I didn't think to film that when we opened it up that day. That was just a brain fart on my part anyway. But anyway, I got all the important information that I wanted as far as how it was going to affect the ride height and the rear suspension on the truck. Hopefully these shocks will make a nice difference. I'm going to go out for a little test drive here in a minute. But I think we're pretty much good to go here. Only other things, we got to pick up a 12-volt refrigerator. I'm looking at those Blue Eddy AC50 for a power point for this to run everything. We need some storage totes for clothes and food, and our Blackstone grill, and a table. That should pretty much be everything we need for this thing. We have, some other little small things we're throwing there too, like tire repair kits and stuff like that. I don't think we're gonna need a whole lot of tools for this. Be watching the end of May is gonna be the first big trip for this truck. We're gonna go out with some friends and do a pretty cool adventure for our first one in this truck, so I'm really excited for that. So probably won't see nothing on this until then. For now, I got to get back to other projects out here on the other vehicles. So that's it for this. Hopefully you liked it. Give it a thumbs up. And like I said, be watching end of May, probably beginning of June when I get the video done. My lazy butt. So anyway, that's it. We will catch you on the next one. Later.